course I had to schedule this to go up the 4th of July weekend, which means the ironic title of Monday Movie Musings on Tuesday is going to come... I already did this intro. Welcome back to Monday Movie Musings on Tuesday, the show where the only things that matter are movies. Yeah, I like that slogan from last week, so I'm sticking with it. And it makes sense that I'm repeating everything from last time because today we're talking about the ultimate retcon movie, Groundhog Day. Bill Murray stars as the weatherman Phil Connors, who's bitter and cynical about life and a sarcastic asshole to everyone he meets. So he's playing Bill Murray, but I digress. Phil and his news crew head out to Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania to cover the annual Groundhog Day festival, much to Phil's chagrin. He wakes up the next morning still in Punxsutawney and comes to find out that it is once again February 2nd, Groundhog Day, and he has to relive his day again. Phil is now stuck in a time loop, waking up on Groundhog Day over and over and over, unable to move forward in time. So he has to figure out how to stop the loop and get on with his life without ever knowing what caused the loop in the first place. Now I want you guys to know right off the bat, I did not see this film as an adult until this year. Come back, I know, but that's why I wanted to start with this movie. I saw it as a kid, but at an age where I was too young to really get engrossed in this kind of movie. As I grew older, it's a movie that I didn't really think about all that much. I knew the plot, but it wasn't enough to really drive me to seek it out. Finally, I got the chance to earlier this year, and I was absolutely enthralled. Not only is this movie extremely entertaining, but it also has endless opportunity for interpretation. For example, on the DVD commentary for this film, director Harold Ramis recalls how so many different people of different faiths, creeds, and philosophies contacted him to tell him about how the film was a perfect representation of their beliefs. Everyone from Buddhists to spiritualists to fundamentalist Christians. Thus, I really do mean endless interpretation because it seems like everybody has one, at least people with spiritual influence in their lives. Speaking as someone who's not religious or particularly spiritual, I can still say that I have my own reading. And let me clarify, when I say my own, I do acknowledge that this has probably been seen by tons of other people, and not just me. I just mean it's the interpretation that I fall in line with the most. I believe the events of Groundhog Day can be used to describe something that I've dealt with for a few years now, and that so many people around the world deal with on a daily basis: depression. While it's still a tendency of people to classify depression as simply prolonged sadness, this is not exactly the most accurate definition. Depression involves a number of different factors, including lethargy, apathy, and generally feeling like you're in a rut. You feel like everyone around you is going about their lives normally, in the bright colors of a great day, while you're stuck in a gray patch. It's also important to note that depression does not mean consistently negative feelings. The form that it takes is unique to each person, but it always involves both ups and downs. You're not going to feel constantly depressed, and it's not always going to be a negative thing. Sometimes the depression is going to make you want to stay in bed all day and not use any energy. Other days you might feel a burst of motivation to beat the depression, or use it as an excuse to act out. And of course, under extreme circumstances, the depression may put you in a position where you feel there's no way out but to end your life. Oh god, he's going dark. I can't handle this. Go back to the shitty jokes. Don't worry, there's a positive conclusion to this, but before I get to that, I need to revisit Phil Connors and the events of Groundhog Day. Of course, the first and most obvious comparison is that by living the same day over and over again, you're automatically in a rut. Phil is literally stuck where he is and watching the rest of the world move forward as if nothing is wrong. And yet throughout the duration of his time loop, his behavior changes dramatically. His first instinct is to use it as an excuse to behave recklessly. He gets in car chases, has sex with random women, and kidnaps a groundhog. This leads into his next stage, the desire to end his life. Only here, because of the time loop, he's not able to, meaning he can see just how empty of a solution this is. So he resorts to sitting around the house, or in this case the bed and breakfast, living pretty zombie-like for a while. Of course, as we all know, it's not until he starts to look at things in a positive way, look outside of himself, and appreciate the world around him that he eventually breaks the spell. When he uses his situation as a way to help others become more in touch with his artistic side, and in general learn the value of the little things in his life. This finally leads him to his ultimate conclusion, learning to love another person, in this case, Rita. Even here, he sets out from a selfish place, just trying to get her to have sex with him. It's only after he gives up the selfishness, starts paying attention to what it is she values in life, and then uses the time loop to give her the best possible day she can have without any selfish intentions whatsoever, that Phil finally finds peace. And he did this without knowing that it would end the time loop. He just did it to make someone he loved happy. Likewise, depression might not be able to be 100% overcome even with someone's best efforts, but there are ways to make the best of it. Whether you realize it or not, depression is an entirely internal thing. It's a mental illness. So looking for solutions within yourself doesn't really make the most sense. It's when you look outside yourself that you can start to try to feel better. Whether it's focusing on other people, doing something creative, or just like Phil Connors, learning the value of little things in life. Dedicate your time to the people and things that you love, and while it may not cure you, it will ensure that you use your time in the best way, and you'll be able to look back on that with pride, knowing you helped others when you couldn't help yourself. And that's going to wrap it up for this edition of Monday Movie Musings on Tuesday, which airs every Monday or Tuesday-ish on the Phone Booth Productions YouTube channel. If you're confused about how this series works, I will have a schedule in the description box below, along with a link to my WordPress blog where you can see all of my content, videos, as well as written articles. With all that out of the way, I hope you liked this, and if you did, you can click right here to get in the phone booth.